Hi Innate family, Dr. Chris here, and I'm excited to share Jacob's story with you. So Jacob is 10 years old, and when he first started coming here, he was experiencing 60 to 70 seizures per day. Let me say that again, 60 to 70 seizures per day. That's a ton of seizures. So yesterday I got to deliver some amazing news to him. So what I'm going to show you are his first scan and now his most recent scan. So if you don't know, what we use to scan here is the Insight subluxation station. These are EMG scans. We did a series of 3 scans. I don't have time to show all of them right now, but this bottom scan, if you can't see it too well, I will put up a still shot on the screen so you can see that. But one thing you need to know is that a normal, healthy functioning nervous system should have all white symmetrical bars. So this here, definitely not all white. We see greens, blues, and reds, and definitely not symmetrical. So that was his first scan. That was back in November 2nd, and this was last week, January 11th. So looking at this compared to that, we see a huge difference. A lot of this color has cleared up. We see a ton of white bars getting more symmetrical. And guess what? When I gave this to his mom yesterday, and I laughed because I wanted to show him the results as well, but he's 10 years old. He wanted to go in the playroom. He didn't really care about his scan results. He just knows that he's feeling better, he's functioning better, and he's not having as many seizures. So yesterday I asked his mom, what's his seizure activity been like? Especially, we're coming off the holidays and things like that. And she said yesterday he had 2 seizures compared to 60 or 70 a day. That's craziness. And what did we do? We didn't give him a special seizure adjustment. There was nothing in the terms of us chasing the seizure. We were looking at these patterns. These patterns is what we would call his subluxation pattern. All these little colored bars represent blockages of his nervous system. So his brain, all of us, our brain is trying to communicate with our body constantly. If somewhere in there the wiring is off, as we can see here, it's going to manifest in one way or another. For Jacob, it happened to be seizures. So all we were doing is looking at that, analyzing it, and correcting it in the most effective and efficient way we know how with the chiropractic adjustment. So from here to here is huge. It's only like a 3-month time difference. And he's dramatically reduced his seizure occurrence per day. The other thing I got to give him was his updated core score. So a core score compiles all the scans that we do. Again, don't have time to go into all of it, but he got a 90 out of 100. That is huge. I can definitely see why his seizure activity has decreased because his scores are going up. It's a great predictor and accurate reflection of how his body is functioning. So as his score is going up, of course, his symptom, or the seizures in this case, are going down. So I just wanted to share that because I was so excited. I got to share it with his mom yesterday, and I shared it with him as well, though, like I said, he wanted to play more than he wanted to look at test results. But that's a complete different change in his life. I still remember clear as day. He came to a workshop with his mom a couple months ago, and the other people in the room in the workshop were some newer patients, and they were curious as to why he was here getting adjusted. So he stood up and he was a little bashful about it, and the first thing he said is that I don't really like to talk about it, but I'll share with you guys that I'm here because I have seizures. And he went on to express that he doesn't like to talk about it because people see him at school having seizures or going through a seizure, and they don't quite understand what's going on. And he doesn't like to talk about it, he doesn't like to explain it because he gets embarrassed. It's not something the other kids understand or know. They can't possibly know what he's going through during that moment. But he was bold enough to share with our small audience. So can you imagine if that has decreased so much, what that's going to do just for his confidence out in the world, out in school, out amongst his peers? It's going to be huge. So that's probably the part that got me the most excited. Yeah, I like to see scores and I like to measure it and I like to see the change, but knowing that it has a bigger impact in his day-to-day life is tremendous to me. So guess what? It's simple. Like I said, all we're doing is looking at that pattern and clearing up that nerve flow through the adjustment. So if this information is valuable to you, share it. If you know someone in your life who's dealing with this, it could be a kid, it could be an adult, share it with them. Let them know that chiropractic can help. Let them know that we are a resource for them. Send them our way. We'll give them our best assessment, and they will know if they can start to get better and what track they can go on. We'll give them our honest opinion and our honest thoughts on that. But just know, we got kids out there like Jacob scoring 90s, clearing up their scans, and improving their health overall. Thanks, guys. Hope this was valuable. See you next time.